Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Husky Bible Podcast. This is your Husky Bible Ariel, and I hope that you are all well. I hope that everything in your lives is going smoothly and that there aren't any problems that are not big enough that you can't solve or that can't be solved. Excuse me when I take a shot of water. Thank you. So, yeah, I hope all of you are well. This one is going to be a mixed bag, like all of them are, but this time on purpose, I guess. I mean, I don't know how I even started. I finally saw the Batman. I gave a small, brief review on my Twitter, and which I posted on my Instagram. And for the wrestling community worldwide, we are in mourning because on this past Monday, we lost one of the greatest to ever lace the boots. We lost the great bad guy, Scott Hall, aka Razor Ramon. But let's I guess, just to not end on a downer, because we tend to end on downers, let's start with the Razor Ramon thing. For and I'm going to tell the story just for those uninitiated and or unawares of his life. Scott Hall lived a very hard life. Well, he was dependent on chemicals and alcohol. And the crux of it is the origins of it is due to that he had to kill a man in self defense. And the killing of that man haunted him for the rest of his life, and he never felt worthy. And he drowned himself in alcohol and other substances. And for a while there, it seems that the demons, as they are popularly called, were going to take a toll of him. But 10 years ago, Diamond Dallas Page took hold of both Scott Hall and Jade Snake Roberts and helped them to get better. And since then, they've been mostly on the straight and narrow. And Scott Hall, I mean, he's slipped here and there, but it's never been as bad as it was back in the day when he was very dependent on his substance. I'm talking more about the personal struggles of his life and not so much on the wrestling end. Because if you're a wrestling fan, you pretty much already know, Razor Ramon, early 90s success in WWF, as it was known back then, now WWE. Then he reinvents himself as himself uh, in the New World Order in WCW, and him, Kevin Nash, Hulk Hogan, Six, take over and make one of the greatest stables of all time, notwithstanding shitty booking and other shit that fucked WCW up in the ass and made it disappear and now be part of the library in the WWE network. Uh, and wrestling accolades, one of the best. Very smooth worker, very believable talent, smooth and cool as fuck. Very few people could be naturally as cool as he is. Because when you saw the Razor Ramon character, you think, oh, he's very good at portraying the character. No, that was part of himself. And then when he continued being part of himself when he was in WCW as himself, as Scott Hall, uh, he still oozed that coolness because the man was cool effortlessly. And as I stated, he had his demons, but thankfully, Diamond Dallas Page came along and helped him up. And at least somewhat the last decade of his life was seen in better health and a better light. And he, I don't know if he found peace with himself. Maybe found peace through God or something, but with himself, I don't know if he ever made peace with himself. But he was in better terms, a better human being for the last 10 years of his life. Then, unfortunately, he broke his hip, and while they were operating him for the broken hip, blood cloth got into his heart, and he suffered 3 heart attacks. Had to be put in a machine to assist him to keep him alive. And on Monday, the family called it to unplug him from the machine, and they unplugged him at noon, and he fought for his life until 6 p.m. Monday evening, when he tragically passed away. And very sorry for everyone that actually got to know him. I didn't have the privilege. I didn't get that privilege, and now I'll never will. And truly feel for every person that knew him. Tributes have been flooding ever since. Everyone in the wrestling community has been flooding, providing him tributes, and it's sad. It's a sad thing when I don't celebrate any human being's demise. I don't care whether they're good or bad, because it's a tragedy when life ends, because it's like you can't undo what's done, and you don't get a chance to undo certain wrongs. But in the case of Scott Hall, the last decade of his life at least was to do amends for the things that he did. And I think that his family, if they didn't value or see the change that happened, us, the fans, certainly saw it, and are happy that he, I mean, in the midst of this tragedy, that, because it is a tragedy, he died. But in the midst of all this, that he at least got a glimpse of, putting his life somewhat on track. I can't speak on saying that he's fully put his life on track, because I don't know. But at least I know that he tried, and this isn't Star Wars with the do or do not. There's do or do not. There is no try. Fuck that shit. There is try. Sometimes that's all you can do is but try. Sometimes you got nothing left but to try. So, salute to Scott Hall. May he finally rest in peace, and his family, friends find some sort of comfort in these trying, difficult times. Okay, so with the downer down, let's talk about the Batman movie, which I happened to see. Uh, is it a bad movie? And by the way, if you haven't heard these podcasts so far right now, when I talk about a certain subject, like a movie or a TV series and whatnot, it is spoilers of the yin yang. So I give you my spoiler warning right now. So if you don't like spoilers, don't listen, because I talk spoilers. And if you don't like spoilers, well, I'm sorry. I'm giving you the fair warning right now. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, don't listen to this. If you don't give a shit, listen. If you already seen the movie, listen as well, or just listen. Okay. This is not a blow for blow or spot per spot on the whole movie. It is 3 fucking hours long. And right there, look, is it a bad movie? No, it's not. It's good. It's very good. Because I happen to notice that the reviews certain movies get, it depends a lot on the attitude of the reviewer and how their disposition is. Now, I was not in the best of moods when I went to see the movie, because I'm very sleep deprived. The sleep has been ignoring me. Let's just say that, and so I didn't see the movie with the most optimistic eyes. Be that as it may, I cannot deny how fucking good this movie is. And it's kind of a slow burn. And it's a more cerebral Batman. I mean, there's a lot of action in it, don't get me wrong. There is. You've seen the trailers, you can tell that the dude is breaking bones, beating the shit out of fucking criminals, and all that good jazz that people seem to enjoy about Batman. They think that the Batman is all about let's crack some ribs, let's break some bones. You're gonna get cracked ribs and broken bones. But this incarnation of Batman, notwithstanding the costume, the Batmobile, all the other stuff, this version of Batman is a more cerebral take on the character. And the sense that this is the first movie that uh, emphasizes the detective side of Batman. I think very few movies in the Batman lore of all the Batman movies that we've seen like pick the brain of Batman more than this one. This one shows that this is an intelligent this is an intelligent Batman. This is a guy that is prepared. That granted, he's not Bat God like in the comics. Like people make jokes about Batman that he has a contingency plan for everything, and this is not that Batman yet because this is Batman Year Two. This is a 2 year, uh, let's say sophomore Batman. Yeah, let's say sophomore Batman. So he only has 2 years on his belt. So he's not that crafty a veteran of the streets, and this is for his encounter the first encounter he has with the Riddler, and this Riddler is manic. This Riddler is like the Zodiac. This Riddler is uh, immensely beautifully acted by Paul Dano, and I've always liked his performances. I mean, he knows how to keep it like very low key, and then he can blow it up. Like he can shoot the scenery in a good way, and at the same time keep it very low key. And Paul Dano has a good balance between those two things because there's sometimes that it is required for you to eat the scenery. Sometimes it is required. Sometimes it is necessary for you to chew the scenery and go full 11 like I forgot the name. Jesus Christ. Uh, Spinal Tap. You go full Spinal Tap and go up to 11. And I'm getting old and I'm tired, people. I'm sorry. Jug of water. Anyway, so yeah, I enjoyed the performance of Paul Dano. And as I was saying, this Batman is more brainy, but also, I dare say this is the greediest fucking Batman. This Batman is like so goddamn pissed at everything. It's like everything fucking annoys him. And he's just ready to fucking shred. Still, he's not the veteran Batman. He's not veteran Batman. He's like, oh, well, I've been here, done that before. No, this is, again, sophomore Batman. 2 years under his belt. Doesn't know every trick in the book, but he's smart enough to know what to do. He is implementing fear tactics into the criminals. Some of them buy it. Small time criminals buy it. They're fucking pissed their pants when they see him. But the more established criminal elements are like, okay, nice costume, whatever. Because they're used to running the shit, and that's basically the crux of the story is that villains, not necessarily in their flashy costumes, are the ones that run the city. And when you see how deep the corruption goes as the movie progresses, you notice that, well, this city is fucked. There's nothing you can do. I mean, the corruption goes way up high. And it literally went way up high to the highest office in the city. And the thing with the Riddler is that he's murdering all the corrupt parties, and he's trying to expose the hypocrisy in Gotham. And one of the hypocrisies that hits is the Wayne family, specifically talking about Bruce's dad, Thomas Wayne, and his mother, who in this version they make her an Arkham. So Martha is not a Martha Kane; it's Martha Arkham. So when she married, she gave her surname and became Martha Wayne, but she's an Arkham. And the big reveal is that she went a little cuckoo and was sent to Arkham, the family business. And Bruce's daddy was trying to cover it. Now it is revealed through the movie that Bruce's daddy fixed up Falcone, the 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 mobster played by John Turturro, and fixed him up because the guy went to Thomas Wayne's house, just appeared out of the blue, and because of the hypocritical oath, Thomas Wayne did attend him and stitched him up, and it seems that like Thomas Wayne owed or had actually no Falcone owed Thomas Wayne a favor for doing that procedure, and it is revealed that a reporter was going because when Thomas Wayne 20 years ago, and the movie has been 20 years since Thomas Wayne was going to was alive, and he wanted to be mayor of Gotham, and a reporter was going to expose what happened to Thomas Wayne's wife, which she was in the loony bin, in case you didn't notice. So to cover that up, Falcone implied that Thomas Wayne went to him to shut him up. And well, you talk to the mob to shut up somebody, put the fear of God in them. Guess what the mob is going to do? They're going to whack the motherfucker because that's what they do. So the reporter dies, and Thomas Wayne was going to win, but then what happened. If you need me to explain that, then you have not been paying attention for the past almost 100 years of Batman story. Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne were murdered in Crime Alley. The odds of dying on Crime Alley. I mean, the odds of dying in a place called Crime Alley. Those are some odds. Anyway, so so it was revealed that the Waynes somehow are also involved in this cleansing that the Riddler is trying to do. But Alfred explains the situation to Bruce, and by the way, this Alfred was the one that trained Bruce, so there's no League of Shadow shit. It was Alfred that trained Bruce how to fight. How the fuck that makes sense? Anything? Oh, by the way, Bruce makes all of his equipment. That's why you get this very low tech Batman uniform or the bat suit. So that's why it's very low tech, because it's Bruce himself that's built all this. Every apparatus that he uses in the movie is built by himself, with the exceptions of the contact lenses that act as video camera. Uh, that's a whole nother can of worms. And one thing I will say, and this is like a sideway note, that Gotham City, I've never seen it so fleshed out like this. The city is almost like a character. It's like when shit happens, it's like the city is beating the shit out of you, and it's reflected by rain. And it's not like small little sparkles of rain. It's like rain that beats the shit out of you. And it's almost like 70% of the time it's raining in this goddamn city. So I was like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Why people even bother going outside? It's always raining in this goddamn city. It's always looking gloomy as fuck. Even Selena Kyle, Catwoman, for those of you, she fucking bails out at the end. She was like, well, fuck this shit. I'm out of this motherfucker. And she even met her new baby daddy, aka the Batman. She met him. Oh, and by the way, Catwoman is bi in this movie. Who gives a shit? By the way, who gives a fuck? I don't know why the insistence of having these alternative lifestyle things added into established characters, but that's not either there. I'm not judging. If you are what you are, you are what you are. I don't give a shit. Live your life, whatever. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, the insistence of filling in this shit is whatever. Anyway, okay. What else? Gordon, great job by Jeffrey Wright. He did a great job on doing Gordon. This Batman has like very low key sense of humor, like very dry, like very dry and dark sense of humor. And also, I already mentioned Paul Dano. And the fucking breakout star of this fucking movie for me is fucking Colin Farrell with the fucking Penguin. Holy fucking shit! You cannot recognize this dude, and the accent, the acting is holy fucking shit. Is out of this fucking world, and the dude is amazing in his role, and I cannot say enough. Like everybody in this movie just fucking nailed it. Everybody in this movie just nails it. It is unbelievable. I cannot sing this movie's praises enough. And the plot is like it's Batman is like two steps behind the Riddler. He's trying to catch up, and when the Riddler finally gets caught, it's kind of like a Seven moment. If you've seen Seven, you probably know where I'm heading at with this shit. But it's kind of like Seven. So what do I mean by that? Uh, See, he lets himself get caught once he fulfilled his purpose, which is uh, because he tried to kill everybody, and the only one that he failed killing was Bruce Wayne, because he insisted that the sins of Thomas Wayne, the ones that we mentioned before, had to be visited upon the son, which is Bruce. But the kill, since Bruce is never home, since he's at night, since he's the goddamn Batman. Uh, the one who took the explosion sent by the Riddler is Alfred, but he survives. Alfred survives, but it was a very shitty. Like when they saw when Bruce found out that he was going to be the next victim, he immediately calls his apartment complex because there's no Wayne Manor. Wayne Manor is like abandoned, so he lives in the city, and the Bat Cave is wherever the fuck it is. I don't know, like a former train station, and they never call it Bat Cave. They just center of operations, I guess. And so the explosion goes off on Alfred, and when Bruce is trying to call, we get the revelation, like a Watchmen revelation. Well, this happened an hour ago, actually. Yeah, Alfred got fucked. Uh, Alfred didn't die, and Bruce is always like two steps behind. By the way, I mentioned Bruce as in Bruce Wayne, but he appears in the movie like maybe for 15% of it. It's all Batman. It's all fucking Batman. It's all Batman. Also, it's like you heard the theme song, the song for the movie. You know, dun 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 dun. That song. It's like it's his mantra. Every time he's about to fuck someone up, that song comes up. It's like bam bam, and I just think in my head like he's probably going in and said, "I'm the bat," and he just fucking people up, and he just fucks people up so badly. He has no fucking regards, and fucking oh god. So like yeah, and oh my god, I know I'm babbling and rambling all over the place. I'm sorry about that, but this just goes to show you, like it's been a few days now, like 4 days since I saw the movie, and I'm still talking, and I didn't have the greatest attitude, but I can't say that this was a shitty movie. It was a good movie. Now, was I watching my watch a few times? Yes, because I was like, God damn. This is a slow fucking burn because there's a lot of shit that happens in the middle. But this movie, I cannot pinpoint any weak spots. Like everybody was in their A game and everybody brought it, and everybody did a hell of a job. So kudos for a great Batman movie. Like, have we had a bad Batman movie? Yeah, and yeah, no. Because the ones that people complain about, like for Dark Knight Rises, for all its plot holes and shit, it's still a great movie. I like it. I like the Dark Knight Rises, and people get mad. Oh, Batman would never retire. This is not. This is not comic book Batman. This is Christopher Nolan's interpretation of Batman as for the Dark Knight Rises. Same thing goes with this one. This is not Batman from the comics. This is Matt Reeves' interpretation of Batman. And I'm glad for once that we don't get the fucking Thomas and Martha Wayne death scene with the fucking pearls, with the fucking gunshots, with fucking Bruce seeing everything all over again for the 10th trillionth time. We all know that, and thankfully this started year two, so not we don't even get to see a Batman origin movie. It's just that here we are, here we go, here this is what we're doing. So like okay, so continuing the story, so to get to the main point, okay, Riddler gets caught after he performs all his kills, and Batman and the Riddler is requesting Batman, and Riddler is like almost implying that he knows who Batman is, and he keeps mentioning Bruce Wayne, but turns out it's just that he's very hung up that Bruce is still alive. But Batman plays it coy. He doesn't, let out like, oh shit, he knows what I am. He's just plays it coy, like, oh, okay, yeah, keep talking, bitch. And then when he finally, what the Riddler's trying to say is like, okay, Batman is my muscle. I just tricked you into doing the dirty work for me because I know I couldn't do it by myself. So you did the dirty work for me. You did the heavy lifting. So you and I are a team. And Batman's like, no, you're psychotic, and I was trying to catch you, which I happened to did. And no, but we haven't finished our job yet. And Batman was like, what are you talking about? And it's like, oh, so you're not as smart as I thought you were. Okay, so you haven't found all the clues. And then that's when Batman goes back to Riddler's apartment and finds that Riddler had a plan B, which was to flood the whole fucking city. And guess what? He did. Bad guy wins. Well, partially. Because Batman he didn't stop the flooding, but he did stop the assassination of the newly elected mayor, and also subdued all the guys that were working with Riddler, and therefore also becoming a symbol of hope for the city, because that's what was missing on his equation, because he couldn't change the city. I mean, he's been fighting for 2 years a criminal element in the city, and as I stated, sorry, as I stated, like the low key figures, yeah, they feared the shit out of Batman. But the old element, like the old school, like the penguins and other elements that are out there, they're like, fuck this guy. We don't give a shit. We still run this motherfucker. Things changed a little bit with the Riddler's plans, but and so Batman he understands that now. Well, I have to be hope for these people because he showed them publicly that he's fighting for them. He's fighting for the city, and the city is like learning to appreciate Batman more. And so Batman is now like thinking over his strategy of how to do this shit, how to clean the city, how to be a better force for the city, and just like yeah, do the vengeance part. By the way, they call him Vengeance in this movie. He also refers himself as Vengeance. So like, what the fuck is with the bat paraphernalia, dude? Like, you call yourself Vengeance, so Vengeance has two pointy horns on his head, has a bat logo on his fucking chest. So that's Vengeance. Okay, whatever, dude. Whatever makes you sleep well at night. Whatever, dude. Anyways, uh, also we get a little cameo in the end, a little tease of the Joker, in Arkham. He starts buddying up with the Riddler while they were there, and the Riddler because the Riddler starts again. Paul Dano eating scenery. When he sees what Batman was able to do, like save the city and save the people and whatnot, he's like, "God damn it, fuck!" But overly dramatic and with less cussing because it's PG-13. And we have the Joker on the other side, like trying to cheer him up, and lets out a few clues, letting you know who he is. And then you can't get a good glimpse at him, but you kind of see him. It's like what Jeremy John said in his review is like when you saw, remember back in Arrow, like in season 2 when Arrow was Arrow, and you got a glimpse of Harley Quinn, and you even heard her voice, but they didn't say anything. It's kind of like that. Yeah. A scene like that. Like you get the silhouette of the Joker, you get a little chuckle and some laughs, but you don't get to see the full. You don't get the money shot. You don't get the scene of seeing the Joker finally. So at the end of the movie, everybody is the police is more accepting of Batman because they treat Batman like shit. He was clearly trying to save a dude, and the dude blew up right in fucking Batman's face, clearly trying to save this dude. And what the police do, all that they take Batman under custody. And when he got knocked out of the explosion, they take him into custody. So someone wanted him got. Anyway, and so the police treat Batman like shit at the first in the beginning, like this motherfucker. What the fuck is he doing here? Then at the end of the movie, they kind of warm up to him a little bit. They try to, what the fuck is this freak doing here at the first, and now they're like, okay, guess he's okay. Okay, I guess Gordon is the only one that treats him like a human being. Everybody else is like this fucker here, dressed in Halloween. What the fuck is he doing here? Okay, what else? Well, Alfred, barely in the movie. Selena Kyle falls for Batman, but she's bi. Well, I guess she can go either way. At the end of the movie, she's like, "Well, I'm out. I'm out. So this fucking city can't be saved." She mentions Bloodhaven, so for those of you comic book geeks, I was like, "Oh shit, Bloodhaven!" Bloodhaven, for those of you who aren't aware, is a city where Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing, operates. That's where he is Nightwing, and he's their Batman. And Bloodhaven is like the worst version of Gotham. It's worse than Gotham. Anyway, Selena leaves. She bounces, so leaves Bruce all alone, and that's it. And I think the movie is great. And if you haven't seen it, go check it out. You gotta have patience. Don't take the kiddies to watch this movie. This is not your yay Batman punch the bad guys. This is a very cerebral Batman. This is a very intelligent following for the Batman movie. So if you don't have patience, don't watch it. If you don't like mysteries, don't watch it. But if you do and kind of have a thing for riddles, I mean, I saw one of the riddles when I was in the movie theater. I don't remember which one, but I do remember saying the words right before Bruce said it, and the people that were next to me in the movie theater looked at me like, "The fuck." Anyway, yeah. So yeah, go watch it if you're a Batman fan, and don't mind the slow burn and like cerebral movies, and will like to see a detective Batman, which this is pretty much a detective movie, which it was, with some loads and loads and loads of action. There. Okay. So I guess I'll just leave it here and there, and we'll call it a day. So this has been the Husky Barbu podcast. Again, website huskybarbupod.com. Social media at Husky Barbu Pod. My personal social media at that Ariel Duran. And catch you all next week. So thanks for listening, and goodbye.